everybody, welcome back to the RCGP World Series, and this is it. It's the finale. It's round 8. This is the end of 2019 for RCGP. Good news is we're still in California. The sun is still shining, but after the stress of yesterday with the sprint finals, today it's all about endurance.
I can't believe it's over.
It is. Well, it's not over yet because we've got an hour of racing and 4 rounds of qualifying races to bring to you today, streaming live all day from Thunder Rally RC Raceway, and it's going to be amazing.
It's amazing. It's already been amazing. We already had 3 hours of RC2 qualifiers. Some quite crazy, mad things happened already on this one. If RCGP is anything like it, because RCGP has got the crazy Supercross starts.
It has. And in case you missed it yesterday, something amazing happened. A guy who's worked so hard all season to get the win finally got a win yesterday. Let's take a look at the winner's press conference from yesterday after round 7.
Dave, one word for you, finally.
Yeah, finally. Better later than never, I guess. Felt good to get the win in the first season here at RCGP, and you know, I felt it coming all year, but I just had some mistakes and some issues, some unlucky moments here and there that kind of put me down a little bit. But yeah, today I had 2 great starts in the first, in both mains, not the first 2, both mains, and could control the race from the front.
And the HB car seems to suit this track.
Yeah, absolutely. We know the HB is very good on US soil. We've always been fast when we come here for DNC or any other race, and I also like driving on these kind of tracks. I think it suits my kind of driving style a lot.
Davide, from watching it, you seem to have an absolutely terrible day. Loads of bad starts, lots of accidents, but you're still second. How do you do that?
No, we are really happy. We had some bad start, but yeah, everything worked great. David was so fast today, and yeah, we find the right tires at the end, but we are really happy about the second place.
But you're not very happy with the gate starts, are you?
No, no.
Is it just bad luck, or do you think you're doing something wrong?
Maybe bad luck, and maybe I did something wrong. I don't know.
Cole, TQ, that must have been a bit of a joy.
Yeah, no, it was good. You know, the car was good all day. It got a little cold tonight. It kind of put me out of my element in the last main, but I just tried to wheel it around and bring it home.
So yeah, the second race was pretty chilly, and you did seem to fade. Was that because you were shivering, or was the car not behaving?
No, the shock oil was really hard. It got really cold. Shock oil was a little hard. The traction kind of, I guess, got a little more slippery than throughout the day, but overall, I'm happy with it, and now we know what to do for tomorrow, so we'll take what we learned today and apply it for then and give them a shot.
With the king of qualifying, Cole Ogden. Well, King, so how are you going to approach qualifying this today? 4 rounds again. You just always choose the inside right or the outside left?
I don't know. It's just, you got to, a lot of luck is definitely involved, but I think I got a little bit figured out. You just got to play it a little safe. You can't really just go for it off the start. So, yeah, we'll just do the same thing as yesterday. Play it a little safe, check up if I have to, and just keep it on all 4s.
We've had a few races today. Admittedly, the lower finals in RC2, but it does seem that there's been more accidents. I do think the track's kind of breaking up a little bit around.
Oh, yeah, for sure. I'm sure it's going to break up even worse, but, for those guys, it was definitely unexpected. So for us, it'll be a little bit unexpected for us too, but we'll go try to get used to it and put down some heaters.
Cole, great stuff, thank you very much. And joining me is his fellow countryman. It's Ryan Cavalier. Ryan, you've settled yourself in. You've done an RCGP event. Did you always think perhaps you'd be better suited to the hour final than the 2:15 sprints?
Honestly, they're both fine. I just had not the greatest day yesterday with a good round in the first main, and then just had a misfortune in the second one. Both good starts off the gate, so had that under control. So the hour, if you get a little bit of a tough start, then at least you get a little bit more to fight. So today we're hoping for a little bit better all-around day.
Are you happy with the setup of the car? It was noticeable that it seemed that Juan Carlos got a bit quicker towards the end of the day. Are you copying his setup?
We actually we're basically doing the same thing. He was looking at some stuff that I did. I beat him in the first race, and then he got a better setup for the final race. But overall, we're working together pretty well, and I think today will be a much better day for both of us, I hope.
I hope so too. Thank you. This is Ryan Cavalieri from the S-Works team. So that was two of the people who are on the grid, but the grid's all done on championship order, so I don't know who's where, but luckily, young Matt McCallum can tell you exactly who's where on the grid for qualifying race 1 of round 8, the final round of RCGP here at Thunder Alley Raceway, California.
Dry your tears, Nick. It's going to be a fantastic day, and your eyes are going to be full of dust fairly soon. But there we have it on your screen. That is the running order for the beginning of opening qualifying racing in round 8. And of course, the champion. He's already been crowned back in Italy, his home country. He was crowned. Davide Ongaro will start on pole for what it counts that first rack of the starting gates, followed by Juan Carlos Canas from Spain in the S-Works, David Ronefab from Sweden in the HB Racing Performer, and Carl McBride from Australia in the Infinity, car number 10. Cole Ogden will be on position number 5. He's almost on home turf. He's obviously from America, but a long way away from California. Joseph Quagrain makes up the first of those two layers to the starting opening gates. He's from Finland and, of course, drives for JQ Racing. Lee Martin, the British guy from Infinity. What can you say? I was going to say
Legend.
he's won a few things. Champ in electric. Trying to think of things to say that. Anyway, yeah, he's not had the best season. Max Moore will be in position number 8. He's from Finland, also in the JQ Racing. Patrick Hoffer, the Swiss driver for Scuderia Scampi Rosso, will be on number 9. Ryan Lutz. Got 3 Americans on that back row. Ryan Lutz, Ryan Cavalieri, both the Ryans, and Evan Vale. Beach RC, S-Works, and Beach RC sandwich we've got going on there in the back of that grid. Warm-up's happening now. Nick's got himself warmed up and ready to do the Q1 qualifying race. Over to you, Nick.
And that was the legend that is Matt McCallum. Oh. Every now and again, when Matt's doing some particularly good editing, I wonder why I'm here, and then just then I realise why I'm here. Okay, so it's nice to have you all with us. The race will be underway very soon. They've had a 2-minute warm-up, then they get called in, and we have the gate start, of course. So let's get ready to rumble, as they say. Who are you backing for this 12-lap extravaganza? Well, it's actually 12.5 laps, because the first half lap actually doesn't count. Well, it does count, but it doesn't actually count as one. So it's a 12.5 lap race. And the cars will come in. They'll get a bit of fuel. And we wait for this next one to get rolling for what should be a heat of about 7 minutes, 7.5 minutes. In come the cars. So there is the rostrum and the pit lane. If you weren't here yesterday, what will happen is the cars will come out in order and be put onto the gate starts. The top 6 go in the front row of the gate start. The back 6 go in the back row of the gate start. It's a supercross style, the motorcycle off-road, which obviously the off-road motorcycle race on tracks very similar to this. So one of the 2 sports that are most similar to RC racing and with rallycross in the 4-wheel world. So they drop down. So that's the first row down. Second row going in already. Lee Martin on 7. Max Moore getting put down as well. So Evelyn has the 15 board. So the 12 cars are placed down. We've had a couple of cars that have stalled at this port. There is Evelyn, Mrs. Mao with a 15 barrel. The mechanics all up the well. There's a 5. And they're ready to roll, and they're off, and it's a clean start, and it's a good start for Ongaro. For Ongaro's finally made a decent start, got the whole shot as well, but he's been turned around, and amazing, he only got overtaken by 1 car. quad green off the track. And into the lead has gone. It is in fact going to be Ongaro's managed to scuffle the thing. It's McBride second. It's Ronafalk third. It's Ogden fourth. Lutz from the back row is in sixth. Canassa's in fifth. So they come past now. So great start. First great start for Ongaro. He'll be pleased about that, obviously. And then you've got behind him now is Ronafalk, who's managed to take McBride. So we're going to see our first, it looks like, direct battle between the two. Well, whilst not on points, the two people who've always seemed to be the nearer the front of this race. And in many ways, Ongaro has dominated the first few rounds. But Ronafalk has always been there or thereabouts, but not had quite the nth. Yesterday, finally got the monkey off his back, won a round. And now, perhaps he wants to just say at the end of the season, hang on, Davide, it's not all your own way. I now feel I've got a chance. So 1 and 2, it's Ongaro and it is Ronafalk. Ronafalk there flashes into view. They've managed to pull out a nice little lead on the third place man, it's Ogden. So once again, those HBs very, very quick on this particular surface. Ogden much happier with the warmer weather. He had a problem in the finals yesterday when it got cold as the shock oils turned into rock and he didn't like it. But now, Ongaro with Ronafalk be right behind me. So Ronafalk has gained. He was admittedly took a couple off. But this time he's going to get over the big jump. So now, over the line they go again. Ongaro with a 34.2, the fastest lap so far, which kind of helps him just eke out a bit more of a lead. So Lutz now in third from the back row. Ogden had a mistake and has been dropped right down. So Ogden's had a very bad lap and is falling like a stone. I'm not even sure he's still running. As Ronafalk gets right close and Ogden drops down to 11th. So Ogden really giving himself a headache. But at the front, as Ronafalk stops. Let's make Ronafalk our focus, guys, because he's got to push to catch up, and that's where he's had some problems in the past. But we are now only about to start lap number 3, and you can see how close they are as they go around the Proline Wall of Death. They're coming up the sketchy straight. As you can see, whilst it's straight, it's curved and it's bumpy, and they come up to the Thunder Alley hairpin, drop down the steps, and then turn back up before they'll turn right in front of the media tent and over the ridge at the top of the track. Jumps all the way around. They drop past the whole shot, and it's chance now to see the best 2 drivers in Europe, and many would say 2 of the 3 or 4 best drivers in the world, battling it out here at Thunder Alley over a shortened 12-lap race, but we're already into lap number 3, and you can see Ronafalk now has got right onto Ongaro's tail. So a good lap from Ronafalk, the fastest so far, 33.847, and he gained 6/10. But at this point now, time is really immaterial because they can see each other, and you can see Ronafalk there trying to back the whole thing into the corner at the bottom of the steps, trying to get these brake and turn at the same time. There's a huge amount of time to be won at that section. Obviously, if it goes wrong, there's a huge amount of time to be lost as the two of them now trail each other over the pole corner and now up and over the Infinity Jump, and now they're going to come to the very difficult quad that there's no real way of doing that in a smooth, fast way. Ongaro stays just ahead by about a metre or a yard because obviously we're in the US of A, so let's go Imperial. And up the straight they go again, and that time round the difference was a tenth of a second. It doesn't really matter because they're now limited by each other, but they're so far ahead of everyone else. Lutz is 6 seconds back. McBride and then Canas is your 4th and 5th. Nice corner there for Ongaro. Give himself a little bit of a breathing room there. Picked up perhaps a 10th. Has no real obvious error. I just think he just perhaps got a slightly better drive. And so he's giving himself a little bit of space. You can see just a gap has opened up of nothing from when it was less than nothing earlier. And must admit, Ronafalk now finding quite a good route over that difficult quad as they go over the Proline Wall of Death. And we are now turning lap 7 of 12. So we are really at halfway and hopped up there. And you can see that many times now, it's interesting, they're really concentrating very, very hard on getting that downhill section after the Thunder Rally hairpin correct. That section is so important because you can lose so much time getting it wrong. There's 2 or 3 ways of getting it reasonably right. There's one way of getting it very right, but that's quite risky. Again, we see as they come across the pole corner, you could see Ronafalk had to choose where to land that, so not to land on Ongaro because they are right together. There's the HB and the Scuderia. Scampi Rossi up in 2 wheels there, but he got away with it. So the sketchy straight almost unbalanced Ongaro as they go up the hill. And Ronafalk comes right down again, and then, you look at it, and he's got it right behind him. He's going to jump, how he didn't touch it. He's got some good brakes on that car, I can tell you. Now, this is not an indication that Ronafalk is actually quicker in a lap than, it's going to go wrong. But no, it's not wrong, too wrong. He's going to catch back up again. And what happened there? He comes up and over, gets a kind of just shorts that corner. But he's got 4 or 5 laps to catch it back up again. And it is easier to follow than to lead. But he must be pretty bit annoyed about that one. And the gap has gone out, obviously, to 1.7 seconds. But there are still 4 laps to go, or 3.5 laps to go. I think that Ronnefout's got a bit of greater ground speed, especially when he's pushing. Ongaro now will be sensible enough to not lose this lead on an error. And they go over the Ronnefout now over the pole corner. He's already taken about, he just lost a bit of balance. He's taken about a third. No, he's made 2 tiny errors in the last 4 corners. And that, I think, is going to mean he might not even gain at all this lap, because it is those tiny margins. And he actually still going 3/10. So he gained 3/10 despite those 2 tiny errors. We aren't turning 9. So they've only got 2 more laps after this one. So they're on the 10th lap of 12. So Ronnefout had him close, but again, Ongaro, who's actually quite a good driver, as Ronnefout makes another mistake as he tries to just get those tiny tenths of a degree. So it's going to be very much now a mistake by Ongaro, I think, that's going to put it nearer into David again as they race away. And you can obviously see there's Ongaro going round. The lead will have gone out slightly. And it's gone out by, well, I'm visually brilliant. Went out by 300th of a second there. I can see that. It's quite, but the point about it is another lap has gone. And there is this lap and one more for Ongaro to hold off Ronnefout, or more importantly, for Ronnefout to try and find some unbelievable turn of speed. And he is gaining, but to do that, he's got to be so on the edge. But they have pulled out a 7-second lead on Lutz in third. Ronnefout now coming into the last lap is going to have possibly a chance to see the tail a little bit more clearly of Ongaro. But Ongaro is doing what he needs to do. Let's move to Ongaro for this last lap, because it's going to take a little bit of an error by Ongaro, I think, to lose the lead, even though he lost half a second there. And the difference between these 2 drivers is one mistake about 5 laps ago, and it's gone. What's happened there? Goes up and over and rolls it to right and smashes off the track. So it is going to be Ronnefout, who remarkably is going to take this one. By the way, he's got 2 corners to go, because Ongaro... Oh no, we mistake on the... Just got it. No one wanted to win the one. Last lap, no one wanted to win that one. Wow. Well, I was looking at a different thing, heard the exclamation behind me from James, looked up again, saw a replay, and that was never seen Ongaro go off the track. And then suddenly I thought, well, Ronnefout got the Pro Line Wall of Death wrong. No one wanted to win. It was a fantastic first RCGP race. It just goes to prove you can't look away.
What a great race that was. Whilst Nick makes his way down to the interview area, that gives me a chance to just go through the results one more time. In position number 1 was David Ronnefout. 2 was David Ongaro. Ryan Lux took position 3. Carl McBride taking position number 4. 5 was Ryan Cavalieri. 6, Juan Carlos Canas. 7, Lee Martin. 8, Cole Ogden. In position number 9 was Evan Vale. 10, Joseph Quagrain. 11, Patrick Hoffer. And in last but not least, in 12 was Max Mort. Nick should be down the interview area. Over to you, Nick.
With David Ronnefout. David, well, sometimes you need to be good, but you also need to be lucky.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I kept the pressure on him, and sooner or later the mistake's gonna come. And I had a small mistake on myself before that, and I kind of closed in a few tenths here and there, a couple of laps in a row there, and suddenly I made a mistake, and I got by on the last lap. Thank you for that.
But you nearly blew it on the last corner.
I was too much on the right. Tried to stay out of the curb, but I just catch it with the inside wheel. Luckily, I didn't flip around.
Is the track more difficult today?
I think it's just a little more difficult when it's in dry conditions. I think a little bit less grip, and with the bumps and stuff, it just makes it a little harder to keep the lines. But it's all right.
Thanks. Thank you, David. David Ronnefout. Grab a quick word now with Davide Ongaro. Davide, we'll start with the good thing. Finally, you got a good start.
Yeah, finally. I made a mistake on the last lap. I don't know, maybe a stone, I don't know what I take, but yeah, car was better than yesterday. And then we see in the next one, because I start in the back, so.
You seem quite, it's fine, it's not a problem, but you were that close to winning.
Yeah, I was close, but now we try different tires, and then we try also different things on the car, and then we see in the second one.
I asked David this question, but do you think the track's changed today?
I think there is less grip than yesterday, because maybe it's drier than yesterday, and also the weather is hot, so yeah, I think less grip than yesterday.
Thank you, Davide. So they've served up a royal treat with overtakes, mistakes, more mistakes, me looking the wrong way, which often happens. But anyway, that is the end of the first qualifying round. The next qualifying round is just about an hour and 10 minutes away. In between, we've got a couple of RC2 finals. If you're on YouTube, if you're on Facebook, we'll see you in a minute for the next round of RCGP qualifying for the final round, round 8 here at Thunder Alley RC Raceway in California.